Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, it's your girl Lauren Haven here at the Nail Haven, and today we're going to be doing a tutorial for this cute black, white, and chrome design. So I did already prep the nails off of the camera because I had did them on live and then realized that I could record a YouTube video for this. So yeah, sorry about that, but if you are new here, I do have a video on my channel where I show what I do for my base application. So go check that out if you're interested in that. But I went ahead and put my base down, and we're going to go in and start designing. Put our French tips are going to go on the thumb and I think it's the middle finger. They're going to go on the thumb and the middle finger. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and let y'all watch me do that. So recently, I've been trying to edit my videos where I show me doing every step for the design at one time and then move to the next design. For this video, I didn't edit it like that, so y'all will see me bounce around from finger to finger, but hopefully that's okay because that's how my original videos were. But yeah, just want to give a quick little disclaimer. So if you're used to that type of editing content, sorry, this one ain't that one. This was a last minute video, to be honest. But going in, if I mess up on a nail design, usually I'll just go in with my cleanup brush and some acetone and I'll remove anything that needs to be removed. But I'm gonna make sure to do my Frenchies, cure those for 60 seconds, and then we can move on to doing our next piece of the nail set. So now I'm just going in and doing a French tip on the ring finger, and it is a glitter French. I'll make sure to link the reflective polish that I use down below. I like to use a reflective polish when I do my junk nails just because I don't like that open space that you can see in between the charms and rhinestones. So to prevent that, I put down a layer of a reflective polish, and then I'll go over top of that with my rhinestones and charms. Also, it helps give me a guideline of where I need to place my charms. So next we're going to go and make our chrome mixture. I use black gel polish and top coat, and I mix that together to get my chrome. Some people ask, can you do it without mixing the two? You can, but I just simply prefer the look of it when I use the black gel polish and mix it with the top coat. So I'm just going to give it a good little mix, and then we're going to do a French tip on the index finger. It'll be in chrome, and then we'll also use this mixture for the pinky nail. Because I did mix it with top coat, I'm still going to cure it for 60 seconds to give me that finish that I need. I haven't had any issues with me curing it too well. I have, but that's when I mix too much top coat. So make sure that when you are doing this mixture that you want to put a little bit more black gel polish than top coat. The top coat is just to give it that metallic finish, because I've noticed that when I go in with just the black gel polish, it looks glittery and not reflective. So that's why I go in, mix a little bit of top coat in there, and yeah, hopefully that makes sense. If y'all want a more in-depth tutorial, I'll try to drop one down below. I know people be asking for an isolated chrome tutorial on YouTube, so I just might do a video on just isolated chrome. Video ideas. Next up, we got this pinky nail. So I'm going to go in with that same mixture that we just used for the index finger, and I'm going to draw a line on where I want my 3D sculpting gel to go. And I'm only going to cure that for a couple of seconds because I want it to stick to the gel. Because if you ever use sculpting gel, a lot of times it will not stick to the nail if it's too dry. So I just put a little bit of that on the nail, and I'm gonna grab my chrome powder and a makeup application sponge and apply that chrome. Look at that. It just looks so good, so good, so good. So boom, do as I say, not as I do. Make sure that you're wearing gloves when you're handling any type of gel products. I don't want y'all out here accidentally creating an allergy to gel or ended up with contact dermatitis. So I'm going to apply that 3D sculpting gel to the nail. I'm just going to roll it out on the back of my hand. Like I said, make sure you're wearing gloves. Just going to roll it out and then take my sculpting tool and mold it into the way that I want it to look. If your sculpting tool has a lot of dust on it, just take a little bit of alcohol and wipe it off and the dust will come right on off. So I'm just molding it to how I like it, and then we're going to cure that for 60 seconds under the lamp. And I do try to remove any excess from under the nail, but you can go in and remove that after everything is cured. All you have to do is just smooth out the sides, which is what we do at the end of the video anyway. So the thumb and the middle finger are the same design. I'm just going in and doing a zebra print design. It's just really just squiggly lines, and that's about it. We're gonna do the squiggly lines, base coat, top coat, and we're done. I feel like this really don't need a tutorial. It's just squiggly lines. Like, I feel like a lot of these easy looking designs, a lot of people overthink them, and that's what makes them hard. But you're literally just painting on squiggly lines. Get some polish on that brush, apply it to the nail, and just wiggle, 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 okay? So that's what I'm doing here. Make them short, make them long, make them look natural and not too uniform. That's what makes them look good. When you make them look too unified, it look a little weird. Let's be real. So now going back to that pinky nail, we're going to apply that mixture to the top part of the 3D lines. Y'all see where I'm putting it down there. I don't know how to explain that. So I'm apply it to the nail first, and then I'm going to go in and put it on the 3D line. The reason I'm going to do that because a lot of times if I do the 3D line first, it'll end up bleeding, which it ended up bleeding anyway on this clip. So you'll probably see me go in with my acetone and my cleanup brush and remove any of the nail polish, that gel polish that got onto the nail that I didn't want it to. Now that that's out the lamp, we can go ahead and start applying our chrome powder. Real simple, same as the French tip, just going in and applying that chrome down, and then we're going to base coat, top coat. Now, I do use a separate base coat when I'm using chrome, just because I don't want my chrome powders to get into my regular base coat for a design that does not have chrome. So yeah, after we do that, we're going to move to the ring finger, and I'm going to file that nail. So the reason I'm filing the nail before I put the charms down is because once I put the charms down, I want to make sure that I'm putting it in the space that I know I have room for. I know that I like a sharp edge to my nails, so if I don't put the charms down first, I might accidentally do the design in a place that actually was going to get filed off. So I just go ahead and do that first. So I'm going to wipe the nails off. The thumb, middle, and ring finger are going to get wiped off with a little bit of alcohol, and we're going to go ahead and base coat all of the nails. Next, we're just going in and we're going to top coat the middle pinky and thumbnail. These nails are finished. No other designs will be applied. So I'm going to just go ahead and top coat so that the base coat doesn't collect dust, because that's sometimes what happens when I don't top coat immediately after. Now for the index finger, we're going to take our blooming gel and apply a thin layer of blooming gel. Using blooming gel, you want to make sure you're going in thin layers because if not, you will apply too much and it will mess up the design. Sometimes it'll create like little dips in the nail if you add too much blooming gel. So go in with a nice little thin layer. And we're going to take a short brush and some white gel polish and do lines on the side of the nail to create this blooming croc design. So you will see it bloom a lot more than we want it to, but after I cure it and take it out the lamp, there's going to be like a white cast on it. I'm gonna wipe that off, and hopefully I did it in the video. I accidentally messed up, so I did wipe this one off, but hopefully in the video after I cure it, I'll show y'all what it looks like before I wipe it off. I don't think I did, but hopefully I did. So next up, that ring finger, we're going to apply our rhinestone glue only on the French tip area. Oh, wait, no. I'm going to actually cure my big charm down, because when I notice that when I don't cure down, it moves way too much. So I just go ahead and apply that charm. I flash cure it into place so that when I put the rhinestone French tip down, it does not move all over the place and give me hell. Okay, so once I get it nice and flash cured, that's when I'm going to go ahead and apply. Oh, I did them at the same time. Lauren, you ain't have to record this part. Okay, yes, luckily I did show it. So y'all saw how it was just overly white. Y'all saw how it looked. So I'm gonna wipe that off and then go in and base coat the nail. Okay, so I did show it. So hopefully y'all caught what I was talking about and caught the before and after. Okay. Okay, moving on to the we're not all the way done. I was going to say the very last nail. We're not done. We're going to go add our rhinestone glue and apply that to the nail. Now, in the inspo picture she sent me, because this was a custom order, they had black rhinestones. But because I didn't have black rhinestones, I went in with a black flower charm and, you know, to replace that. But I'm going to go with my wax pen and apply the charm to the nail. I do use different sizes when I do like junk rhinestone nails. I just personally don't like the look when I use just one of the same size. It looks a little too uniform. I like it to look the way I do it. So I'm just going in, applying that them gems and just getting it how I like it. Like I said, using different size charms, and yeah. All right, taking that index finger again, we're going to take our rhinestone glue, apply it to the nail, and take this big ass planet charm, y'all. That's why I'm adding so much glue, because this planet charm is pretty big and it moved so much when I was just trying to flash cure it, yo. So I'm just, as y'all look at it, just moving, just slipping and sliding. So I'm applying it, trying to make sure that it's nice, even, and in where I want, in the spot that I want it to be. And then I'm gonna flash cure it into place. And I think I went in with rhinestone glue mixed with top coat around it to like secure it into place all the way. If not, I feel like it was pretty secure after when I was holding on to it to file the insides. But yeah, so okay, I did. I ain't gonna lie, sometimes y'all, I'll record these videos and forget exactly what I did in these videos. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm just going in around it and applying that rhinestone glue and top coat mixture. Now we're top coating our nails because we are actually done now. So I'm just going in top coating that ring finger, and I'm also going to go in once it's done curing under the big lamp and top coat the index finger, and then our next step will be filing. I'm going to go in with my 80/80 grit file and file the tips of the nails to get them nice, crisp, and sharp. I do this to all of the nails, and that's all there's to it. I don't really know what else to say, so I'm going to let y'all watch. Now that that's done, we're going to pop them bad boys off them stands. And we're going to take our E-file. I think it's a 60 grit sanding band that I'm using to etch the insides of the nails. Now, there's a couple different reasons on why I do this. So the first reason on why I etch the insides of the nails is to, one, etch them to create texture on the back of the nails. The same reason we go in and buff our natural nails is the same reason I'm going in with the E-file and buffing the insides of the nails. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. And then I also do it to open up the nails. After applying so much product, or especially those big charms or charms in general, they become a little tight, or in other words, will shrink. So here I'm just going in and I'm going to open up the sides of the nail so that when my client does wear them, they do not feel snug. They feel nice and natural. And then lastly, if any product ended up slipping under the nail, I take my time in this step to go in and remove any of that product. So there's a couple different reasons on why I do this. So if you haven't started doing this to your nails, I suggest you start, because it does benefit the customer in the long run. Now this next step, we're going to take a 180 grit file and smooth out the sides of the nails. The reason I'm smoothing out the sides of the nails, once again, product sometimes slips up under them nails, y'all. So I'm just going in, making sure that they're nice and smooth. As well, for those pinkies, that 3D gel, I want to make sure that there's none that's overly under the nail. So I'm just going in with that part and removing that so that it does not cause irritation when my clients are wearing their nails. So now I'm going to take a Q-tip and I'm going to take some acetone, and we're going to, I guess you could say it's chemically etching, but really I'm just trying to remove that ashy look from under the nail. I don't personally care to chemically etch. I prefer manually taking my e-file and etching it, but because it does turn the nail like a dusty look, I like to go in with acetone to remove that. Usually at first I was going in with alcohol, but some of my nail tips actually turn white when I use alcohol. So I found that acetone doesn't do that. So now I'm just going in with acetone. You can chemically etch, you can manually etch, do what you prefer. This is what I do. So once I do all of that, I am going to take my nail cards. I will be making a video on how to make my nail cards as well, because I print them and make them myself. So be looking out for that. And the double-sided tape I use is the tape that I use for everything. So it is linked to my Amazon storefront. And I'm just going to take the nails and place them onto the cards. I do wipe them off with alcohol, wipe the tops of them off with alcohol. And you will see 15 nails. I do 15-piece nail sets instead of 10, simply because if one of my clients lose one of their nails, I'd rather them walk around with all 10 nails than to walk around with a nail missing, you know? So I do include 15 instead of 10 for that reason, but I'm just going in and wiping them off, and then we're going to place them onto the card, and then we're done, y'all. I shipped it out. Well, actually I delivered this one because she lives right around the corner from me. So I went ahead, took that to her house after this, and I'll make sure to show y'all what the finished product was. I appreciate y'all for watching. The rest of this is just going to be music. So if you have any like content suggestions that y'all want to see more of, I know I do mainly tutorials, but I'm willing to branch outside of my comfort zone and do some of the other stuff. I do have a pop-up shop event coming up, so hopefully I can record content for that. But yeah, if y'all have any questions, concerns, whatever, leave it down in the comment section. Make sure y'all like this video, comment, subscribe, and check out all my other videos. I spend a lot of time making sure that I can get these videos nice and good for y'all. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope to see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.
We've been done long before it all begun. Still can't give it up. Lead me on, but leave before the morning comes. Even though it's what we want, can't keep.